We're moving into alternating curtsy lunges with the dumbbells. So holding your weights at your sides, roll your shoulders down and back so your chest is tall. From here, you're going to take one leg and kick it back, staying on the ball of the back foot, about 45 degrees, coming into your lunge position, pressing up and repeating on the other side. We're going to go back and forth for 1 minute, keeping your chest up nice and tall and keeping the weight in that front heel, pressing down through the heel to stand back up at the top. All right, time's up. Come back to center. We're moving into a single leg calf raise. Standing on your mat, one foot is planted, the other one is just going to hover above the mat in front. Chest is up nice and tall, push into the calf raise and release back down, flat foot, repeating this movement for 45 seconds. If you need to for balance, you can tap the toe down of that lead leg, but still have your weight on that working leg in behind. So focus is on the calf from pressing up. Try to release back down with control. You're also really working into your stabilizer muscles of the lower body. All right, time's up on that side. Go ahead and switch for 45 seconds. All right, time's up. Come back to center. We're moving into an elevated bridge with a chair. So coming onto your back, you're going to prop your heels on the seat of the chair, flexing your toes up to your shins. You're going to press down through your heels and lift your hips up, squeezing your glutes and feeling your hamstrings. We're going to hold here for 30 seconds. Try to relax your upper body and really focus on down through the heels, up through the hips, and squeeze. All right, time's up, so go ahead and relax. We're gonna stay in position for a few seconds, wiggle out your legs, and then we're gonna press back up. So heels down, hips up, squeeze your glutes, feel your hamstrings, and hold for a final 30 seconds. All right, time's up. Release down and come to a seated position on your mat. We're moving into a side plank with a chair. So coming into position, you want your elbow right underneath your shoulder, and you're going to take your top foot right on the edge of that chair. You're going to bend your bottom knee and then press your hips up. We're going to hold here for 30 seconds. So while you're holding, you're working your bottom oblique and you're taking that top leg and pushing down against the chair to contract into your adductors. All right, time's up. We're going to switch sides. So elbow stacked under shoulder, top leg up, bend the bottom knee, press and hold for 30 seconds. Again, push those hips up and press that top leg down against the chair. All right, time's up. Go ahead and relax back onto your mat. We're moving into a bird dog crunch. You're gonna come into tabletop position, so hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. From here, extending your opposite arm and leg out, focus on length versus height, and then keep them above the ground. You're gonna draw that knee and elbow together, squeezing the core, letting your back round slightly, then coming back to neutral on the extension. We're gonna repeat this for 30 seconds. So take your time, focus on keeping your hips and your chest and shoulders square to the ground when you extend that arm and leg, slightly squeezing the glute as the leg extends back. But again, lengthening the limbs, don't try to pull them high and arch the back. All right, time's up on that side. Go ahead and switch for 30 seconds. All right, time's up. Come back to center on your mat. We're moving into a straight leg fire hydrant. You're gonna start in tabletop position, so hands under shoulders, knees under hips. From here, extend one leg straight out to the side, and I want you to make sure you are internally rotating, so just your big toe is on the ground. Hips are square, chest is square. You're gonna lift that leg slightly, and then release back down, repeating this movement for 30 seconds. Be sure to keep the foot internally rotated so you're targeting the glute as you lift. All right, time's up on that side. Go ahead and switch, rotate the leg in, lift and lower for 30 seconds. All right, and time's up. Come back to center on your mat. We're moving into an iso press. Coming onto your back, you're gonna bring your knees up to 90 and flex your toes to your shins. Taking your palms just below your knees, you're going to press your hands into your legs and push your legs into your palms. So pressing against one another, we're going to hold here for 20 seconds. So you're really going to feel your core working. The harder you press, the harder it's going to be. If you have a big arch in your back, make sure you press it down towards the mat. All right, stay on your back. Just relax your legs down and relax your arms. We're going to take a short break. And then bring your knees back up into position and press for another 20 seconds. Remember, the harder you press, the harder it is. So you're going to challenge yourself as much as you can. All right, time's up. Go ahead and relax back onto your mat. We're moving into a quad stretch with a block. So placing your block into position, you're going to put your ankle on top of it. From here, other foot out for support, chest is up nice and tall, and then you're going to take your weight and sit back onto your heel. Keeping your torso up, we're going to hold here for 45 seconds. If this is too much on your knee, you can come into a low lunge position and press the hip forward to stretch out the quad instead. And then to increase the stretch, you can take your weight and gently lean back just to put a little bit more weight onto it. All right, time's up on that side. Go ahead and switch. And holding for 45 seconds. All right, time's up. Go ahead and relax back onto your mat. We're moving into a kneeling knee tuck. Coming into position, you're going to sit back onto your heels, then take your hands just to the outside and slightly in front of your knees. Leaning your weight forward, you're going to press your feet into the ground and lift your knees slightly off, hold for a second, and then release. Be sure to keep your weight forward instead of leaning it backward. We're going to repeat this movement for 45 seconds. So as you lift those knees, you're contracting and working into your lower abdominals and your hip flexors. And at the same time, you should feel a bit of a stretch into your ankles and your shins. All right, time's up. Come back to center on your mat. We're moving into a half kneeling calf stretch. Coming into position, your front foot is flat on your back knee. From here, letting your weight and chest fall forward, placing your hands in front of that front foot, and then continuously pressing your weight forward, gluing that heel to the ground and feeling a stretch into the calf. We're going to hold here for 45 seconds. So the more you're pressing your weight forward without letting that heel lift, you're going to increase the stretch. And if you need to, you're going to shift your weight back to kind of back off on how intense it feels. All right, time's up on that side. Go ahead and switch. Holding for 45 seconds. All right, time's up. Come back to a seated position on your mat. That's all for today. Great work, and we'll see you tomorrow.